I often say my life is privileged. And when I say it, some people automatically assume I'm speaking about or that I'm posing as if I'm rich or have deep pockets. Neither one I actually have. I'm a regular guy living a regular life. Privilege is bigger than finance. See, I was fortunate enough to be raised in a household where my mom was able to give me an easier life than some of the classmates that I grew up with. Some of the same trials and tribulations people that I grew up with had to face on a day in and day out, I didn't have to face. That's a privilege. I'm seeing how they had to sell drugs, they had to, run the streets in order to survive, and now they're on parole, they're on probation, and they have a boss they can't stand giving them crap, but they can't quit their job. They cannot quit because they need this job in order to stay home. These are privileges that I'm allowed. And not saying anyone is restricted or bound by the mistakes of their past. What I'm saying is there is an unfair advantage. I'm currently in Thailand where people are working 6 days a week. They're working 12 hours a day. I'm talking about 72 hours a week, 288 hours a month. The worst part about it is many immigrants coming to Thailand to work illegally is their land of opportunity to work 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, to make 280 bucks a month is their opportunity. Because back home, they're fighting life and death to survive. Meanwhile, here I am with my feet kicked up, recording on a $1,000 camera, on a $400 lens, on an $80 video tripod, with lighting equipment, 2 laptops, a $700 gimbal, relaxing under an AC as much as I want. We're not talking about being braggadocious. We're talking about the reality that, hey, listen, it's an unfair advantage and it is a privilege, and treat it as such. Don't just gloss over the fact that you're living a good life. No, that's a big deal. I was in Detroit when it was negative 13 degrees. You had homeless people dying on the streets. While I'm in a 4-star hotel talking about, it's cold outside. So you better believe it's a privilege. Is it the classic definition of the word privilege? Having a special right? Of course not. Me making a little bit of money in order to live a comfortable lifestyle, that's not a right. It's a privilege. So when I think about how many people who look like me that have been shot and killed in these streets by police and by each other, yeah, my life is privileged. The privilege that I'm reaping the benefits of came from the household I was raised in. My mother did not have to stay on my case about living a right life. She didn't have to do that. She didn't have to make sure I was going to be okay when I wasn't okay. She didn't have to do that. My mom chose to do that. And by her choosing to do that, she gave me an unfair advantage that I am gratefully humbled by. Because had she let me fall to the wayside, then my choices would have been different. A lot of the choices that I'm able to make now is a result of the way my mother raised me. Saying your life is privileged is not a testimony of being braggadocious, because my life could be 10 times harder. I'm only here living this life in Chiang Mai, Thailand, because when I was a child, my mother raised me in a certain way. So when people feel a certain way about me saying I'm privileged, believe me you, I ain't bragging about it. It's nothing to brag about. It's humility. Because I'm seeing things. I'm experiencing things that show me how grateful and how good my life truly is. To work 288 hours in a month, bring home less than 300 USD, and have half of your money still have to go to bills. It's mind-blowing. So yeah, I live a privileged life. And I'm grateful that my mom made it possible for me to live the life that I'm living.